Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys Murder Mystery 2 tips and tricks. Whether you're a public server player or a competitive player, these should help you, hopefully. So yeah. So for the first tip, guys, today we have... So for our first section, we are going to be talking about the basics. So these tips will work for murderer, sheriff, or innocent. They're just main things that you need to know. You're always going to want to aim a few feet in front of the sheriff because your knife is a lot slower than like the bullet. So like right there. But she just cut back. Anyways, you're going to want to aim a few feet in front of them because probably if they're like a newbie or like a beginner, they're going to just run in a straight line. Or like just the typical sheriff is probably, if they're going to one place, they're probably just going to keep going there. It's pretty rare that they're going to cut back like right when you throw it. But like you never know if they're really good at dodging. Just keep practicing and you'll get better at it. So our next one is dealing with spam jumpers. You're going to want to aim like up at the sky, like where their head is, or you're going to want to aim down at their feet. And if they're not jumping in a straight line, it's pretty hard. It's harder to predict them. But you can also aim in the middle. So like if she's jumping in a wobbly line like right now, just aim to where they're going. Like that shot was pretty close, but obviously it's going to take a few tries. It's usually best to aim in the middle because either that's where their head or feet could be. So instead of rage quitting or leaving when you see a spam jumper in your server, maybe just try dealing with them and beating them so that you can get better at Murder Mystery 2. Also with movements, you're going to also need to learn juking. Just make sure that your movements are awkward because if you run in a straight line, they'll know where you're going to go. And so like if you do movements like these and like just jump around randomly, use your objects to help you. This leads us to our next thing, knowing the maps. You need to know each map and where all the hallways and everything leads, and you need to know where the best spots to juke are. You can experiment with this on your own in like public servers, but you gotta know the best spots to juke. The next thing we're gonna talk about is 1v1ing. If you're a competitive player, you need to know these things, or if you want to be a competitive player. Now, keep in mind, I'm not a pro at competitive, but the OG MM2 is, so if you need some more tips from him, you can definitely ask him. But I just know some of the basic things, like where you need to be when you're sheriff and murderer. In maps like hotel, you're going to have to, murderer stands here, always, and then the sheriff always stands behind this wall. Keep in mind that when you're murderer, you never want to just go out in the open when they still haven't shot their gun. You want to rush them when they have just shot their gun like that. You want to rush them while their gun is still reloading so that you can have a good 1v1. And always keep in mind never stabbing in 1v1s. You're probably going to get kicked out of the server if you do. Animation can really... Will you stop staring at me? Back out. Back off. Animation and jump can really help in your gameplay because sometimes in situations like this where there's elevators like in hotel, you can jump up with specific animations, but like with animations like zombie or superhero are really hard to go up elevators, so just keep in mind that your animation can help. One thing that is super helpful and probably the best juke there is if you get good at it is flicking. Flicking is really helpful. And now I have on a normal jump. This is the normal jump I use. I use vampire jump and astronaut fall. I love this jump. And I've figured out that I am really bad at flicking like this on computer. I can only flick like that on mobile. So what I do is I shift lock straight and I turn my screen to look this way, walk toward it, and flick when I get there. So it's kind of confusing, but basically you jump and you shift lock right when you get to it and turn. The next thing we're going to deal with is campers. So there are a few different ways to beat campers. One is going from the back and grabbing it because obviously you won't die if you stand behind the murderer, right? Unless, you know, they have crazy hitbox. But you can go behind them and grab the gun, or you can grab the gun when they are throwing the knife, which I love to do a lot more. When they go back to throw it, you can grab the knife and shoot them, just like that. So yeah, just keep in mind that when you're playing Murder Mystery 2, it is okay to leave the game if you're mad, but just, you don't need to get angry over a game, okay? It's not that serious. And just keep practicing, and the more you play, the better you'll get. So just keep that in mind, and yeah, you got this.